perimeter of the phone, which seems to be pretty tight. We're going to start our entry here with the precision knife because of that tight seam. We're going to start down here by the dock port and see if we can't free the first clip. With that first clip removed, let's bring in our plastic opening tool to continue releasing the clips all the way around the phone until we remove that back cover. With our back cover removed, let's bring our attention here to the 14 T5 Torx screws. That is going to give us access to our phone's internal components. With our screws removed, our midplate should be free for removal with the help of our plastic opening tool here. Make sure to keep track of the power and volume buttons, as we're going to need those for our reassembly. Inside of our phone, the battery is going to be the first thing that you notice. Let's go ahead and pry up the connector from the motherboard. And then we can gently pry the battery out of the small amount of adhesive securing it down. Let's address our display assembly connections. That's located here under the blue protective cover. Our ribbon cables are in locking sockets. On the opposite side of where the ribbon cable enters the socket is our releasing switch that we can go ahead and flip up. And before we draw our ribbon cable out of its socket, we need to first release it from the adhesive that's securing it to the motherboard. We used our heat gun, or you can use a blow dryer as well, to heat up the adhesive to soften it up, to make the ribbon wire easier to pick up off the motherboard. Our motherboard should easily peel up from our display assembly. We use the flat side of our spudger here to gently pry it up out of its location. Easily remove the metal protective plate for the LCD, and we can get a good look at our display assembly at this point. We're going to first begin with our heat gun or blow dryer to soften up the adhesive that's securing the LCD and touchscreen combo to the plastic frame. Then, to begin the separation from the plastic frame, we've used our precision knife here to start our gap, and once big enough, brought in our plastic opening tool and continued around the perimeter of the plastic frame. The use of additional heat would assist in continuing to soften up the adhesive as you work yourself around the entire display. With patience, it's just a matter of time before your display is removed from your plastic frame. Let's begin the rebuild of our Moto G. You're going to notice that we did not have a broken screen, so we're just going to reassemble the phone, but I'm going to show you as if how to reinstall that later on in our assembly. Here's a good shot of our framework with our reinstalled adhesive strips. All of our replacement parts are sent out with free adhesive strips. You're going to use a precision knife or a pair of scissors and cut it to size and shape and install it accordingly in preparation for your replacement parts. Here's a shot of our adhesive installed directly onto the sides of our display assembly. At this point, we can go ahead and start to remove the covers on our adhesive strips. When laying our new adhesive, let's not forget to cut our holes for our front-facing camera, earpiece speaker, and proximity sensors. Let's go ahead and set our display. Use a little heat to soften up and sticky up the adhesive. Let's not forget to fish through our ribbon cable here in the hole. And we can align our display now into our framework. And once set into the new adhesive, we can firmly press down on the display all the way around the perimeter until it's set. And there's our completed assembly, awaiting the reinstallation of our internal components. At this point, let's reinstall the earpiece speaker into the housing in the top of the phone. Don't forget the LCD protective plate. We can now set our motherboard back down into the center of the phone, aligning our front-facing camera into its housing. Our display assembly connections here into the appropriate locking sockets. Don't forget to double check those connections and make sure that they're locked down appropriately. The blue protector. At this point, we can power